Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome everybody. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the May 21st, 2026 Guelph Police Service Board meeting. I'm now going to call our meeting to order. And I'm going to remind those watching pursuant to the requirements set out in the Community Safety and Policing Act, subsection 43 sub 3 and 44 sub 2 through 6. The format of the meeting has been adjusted and there will be a resolution to move into closed session. The board will then reconvene in open session at 2:30 p.m. or as close to 2:30 p.m. as possible. Members of the public who are viewing this through YouTube stream are welcome to come back at 2:30 and access the YouTube link, which is found as the second link in the meeting agenda. At this point, I need a mover and a seconder for the motion that the Guelph Police Service Board convene in closed session pursuant to subsection 44 sub 2 of the Community Policing Safety and Policing Act for the purposes of considering the following subject matters. A, personal matters about an identifiable individual. B, labor relations or employee negotiations. C, litigation or potential litigation affecting the board, and information that Section 8 of the Municipal Freedom of Information Protections of Privacy Act would authorize a refusal to disclose if it were contained in a record. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Alt, seconded by Mr. Plate. All in favor? Opposed? I declare that carried. Okay. Thank you. At this point, I'm going to request a mover and a seconder to reconvene our open session. Moved by Mr. Sharma and seconded by Councillor Alt. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Next item is the territorial acknowledgement. As we gather, let us take time to reflect on our privilege to live and work in Guelph, a city built over rich Indigenous histories. We are guests here and we should reflect upon the responsibility to care for this land, the people who live here today, and the generations to come. If our actions today can move us toward reconciliation, we should take pause and make those decisions with intention and gratitude. This place we call Guelph has served as traditional lands and a place of refuge for many peoples over time, but more specifically the Attawandaronk and the Haudenosaunee. This land is held as the treaty land and territory with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Guelph lies directly adjacent to the Haldeman Tract and is part of a long-established traditional hunting ground of the Six Nations of the Grand River. Many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples who have come from across Turtle Island call Guelph home today. At this point, I'm going to ask if there are any declarations of pecuniary interest or conflict of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
Mr. Chair, I have a conflict regarding the a request for funds from the community account for Children's Foundation, so I will excuse myself at that time when you guys speak to that request.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. Okay, at this point, I'm looking for a motion to deal with our community account funding requests. I believe Councillor Alt, you have some items to move.
Thank you very much, Chair McSherry. I will move 3 on block, and I will separate out the one related to the Children's Foundation of Guelph. And just for ease, perhaps I'll have Mr. Sharma just do the appropriate thing right now, and we'll pass that one, and then we'll pass the other 3 if that's okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So, Mr. Sharma is just going to, are you going out of the meeting or just You're going to go. Okay, thank you. Moved by Alt, looking for a seconder. I think it's Guthrie. That the Guelph Police Services Board support the Children's Foundation of Guelph and Wellington County 2026 Summer Camp Program in the amount of $5,000 with funds to be paid from the community account.
Okay. Seconded by Mayor Guthrie. All in favor? Opposed? I declare that item passed.
And if we could get Mr. Sharma back in the meeting, I'll move the other three.
Thank you.
I've sent a quick message, so should be any second now.
Thank you.
Here he comes.
Perfect. And the three that I will move on block, I will read them for the record. Moved by Alt, seconded by Guthrie, that the Guelph Police Service Board support the West Village Community Development Cooperative 2026 Summer Camp Program in the amount of $2,500 with funds to be paid from the community account. Motion number 2, moved by Alt, seconded by Guthrie, that the Guelph Police Service Board support Michael House 2026 Golf Tournament in the amount of $500 with funds to be paid from the community account. Third motion, moved by Alt, seconded by Guthrie, that the Guelph Police Service Board support the 2026 Special Olympics Torch Run in the amount of $2,000 with funds to be paid from the community account. All three moved on block.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? I declare that item carried.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is the consent agenda. So items on the consent agenda can be approved in one motion. However, if they're prior to the motion being voted on, if any member of the board requests, then we can move one or more items from the consent agenda and be treated as part of the discussion agenda. With that in light, I'm asking for a mover and a seconder of the consent agenda. Moved by Mayor Guthrie, seconded by Mr. Plate. All in favor? Opposed? I declare that item carried. Next item is the Human Resources Annual Report for 2025. I'm going to turn that over to you, Chief Kobe.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And I'm going to invite Kelly, our HR manager, to update the board with respect to our HR program last year.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I have the pleasure this afternoon of presenting the 2025 Human Resources Annual Report, which provides the highlights of progress made by the dedicated police and civilian professionals in the HR and professional development and recruiting units at our service. In 2025, our authorized complement increased by 12 sworn positions and 2 civilian positions from the previous year to 241.5 full-time equivalent for police and 122.9 full-time equivalent for civilian. I will start with highlighting that in 2025, we celebrated 26 civilian and police members who reached service milestones of between 10 and 35 years of service. At GPS, we are committed to recognizing the valuable contributions and work of members of the service, and we also formally recognized 18 members or teams that were nominated by their colleagues and received internal awards of recognition. We also celebrated the accomplishments of 2 members who were recognized with external awards. In addition, 9 police and special constable members were recognized with their Police or Peace Officer Exemplary Service Medal for 20 years of service in an exemplary manner by the Governor General of Canada in 2025. Civilian and police recruitment continued to be a key focus of both the civilian and police recruiting teams as we worked to attract, recruit, and select candidates for rewarding careers with our service throughout 2025 and to be prepared for 2026 recruiting needs. In 2025, we received 245 police cadet applications and 5 applications from experienced police officers interested in a lateral transfer to our service. Police cadet applications were 40% higher than the previous year, and we were able to achieve our goals of filling vacancies due to attrition, growth, supportive staffing, and grants with qualified candidates. In 2026, we are to date continuing to be able to fill vacancies with excellent candidates, and we are meeting our hiring requirements and objectives. About 16% of police applicants entered into a selection process with our service in 2025, and of the 38 applicants, we onboarded 14 police cadets who attended the Ontario Police College for their initial period of training before returning to be sworn in as police constables, as well as 2 experienced police constables who transferred from other services. Highlights of these hires include an internal hire from a civilian to a police position, a rehire, a hire from our Women's Symposium, and a hire of a candidate who participated in an Advanced Police Foundation's co-op placement with Guelph Police Service. 2025 was the first full year after the implementation in April of 2024 of Recruiter's Corner, which provides the opportunity to speak directly to a recruiter about the recruitment process and policing as a career choice. Also, the first full year of an organized practice shuttle run program, which is a physical component of both the GPS selection process and the Ontario Police College Basic Constable Training Program that saw 37 practice shuttle runs throughout the year in 2025. In 2025, we had a total of 2,492 applications for 12 different civilian external postings during the year, submitted for a variety of positions, both temporary and permanent, such as police communicator dispatcher, special constable, and crime analyst. For the 12 civilian postings, there was over 51,000 views, with the top viewed postings being forensic video analyst and police communicator dispatcher. Social media continued to be a key strategy used to promote employment at our service in 2025. This included creating and posting graphics for all civilian job postings for police positions, as well as to promote outreach programs such as the Youth in Policing Initiative. In addition, our media unit also used social media accounts during the year to give exposure to employment at GPS by highlighting the work done by our officers and civilians, advertising opportunities to learn more about GPS, such as through our Family Fun Day and through promotion of GPS participation in cultural and community events. An ongoing focus on member skill and career development continued in 2025. Some of the career and professional development highlights in 2025 included 5 police internal promotions and the implementation of a new promotional pool to fill current and future vacancies in the rank of sergeant, staff sergeant, and inspector. A few examples of leadership training in the year included women's leadership training, acting sergeant training, leading in police organizations, in-house service-wide supervisor training day, resolving conflict, and communications supervisor training. Equity, diversity, and inclusion continue to be common themes in much of the work that PDRU and HR have been involved in. Our Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee, which includes approximately 20 members from across the organization, including 3 members who sit on a provincial OACP EDI network committee, continued their important work in 2025 that fosters workplace belonging and inclusiveness and provided support to the process of attracting diverse applicants to our service. 2025 was the 3rd full year since the 2022 launch of a Women's Internal Support Network. Accomplishments for this committee in 2025 included a Partner with Purpose program. Various fundraising events were held that provided engagement within the service amongst members and raised money for community programs. The WISN partnered with our recruiting unit to host a successful women's symposium in 2025, and the WISN organized and hosted a guest presentation with a female leader who provided inspiring insights to attendees. Further, the WISN ran a mentorship program at the Guelph Police Service, providing opportunities for career development support to female members of the service and opportunities for all genders to gain experience as formal mentors. Guelph Police Service continues to be committed to member health and safety and safeguarding, to provide resources, supports, programs, and continued education and wellness initiatives to support member health, safety, and well-being, with a primary focus on supporting the psychological well-being of all members. In 2025, the dedicated peer support team continued their work to provide peer-based and led support to our members, police and civilian, who attend or who have exposure to difficult calls for service. In 2025, this team made 142 police member and 50 civilian member contacts and hosted 2 formal critical incident debriefs during the year. Health and safety of our members is a top priority at the service, with training and education, reviewing and improving health and safety policies and processes, assessing risks and prevention being areas of focus. In 2025, there were 59 reportable injuries, as well as 11 first aid reports, for a variety of reasons that our first responders are at risk for based on the nature of their positions, including exposures to infectious disease, physical and mental stress injuries. The average monthly number of police accommodations in 2025 was 15, an increase attributed in part to the 2024 CSOC unit implementation at Guelph Police Service, which is highlighted as it has provided meaningful and productive work opportunity for police officers who are supported with accommodation for a variety of reasons, both short and long term. In 2025, the overall attrition rate was 2.2%, similar to the 2024 rate. Of the 8 members that make up this rate, half were due to forecasted retirements. It is expected that over the next 5-year period, we could see 10 civilian and 54 police retirements, in addition to any resignations, which the senior leadership team continues to strategize to manage these anticipated gaps. More details regarding 2025 can be found in the report, including participation rates and year-over-year changes in the appendix. In 2026, HR goals in line with the strategic plan include ongoing work with employee wellness and supports with a focus on reintegration, skills development, performance management, succession planning, attracting and retaining employees, and employee engagement. And we look forward to reporting back on progress in these and other areas next year. Thank you. And do you have any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Any questions or comments arising from Kelly's report? Okay.
I just have one comment, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to thank Kelly. Every year when Kelly gives us this report, it's an amazing amount of progress completed by a very small but busy team. So Kelly, I just want to say thanks to you and everyone that you lead to help our service with all those year-end results. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll pass that along to the team. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. And yes, thank you, Kelly, as well, on behalf of the board. And I would like to now move on to the chief's, I guess, Chief Kobe, going to speak to the financial variance report?
Sure, yeah. So I can speak to the Q1 summary. And then if there's any other questions about anything else, feel free. I'm also going to just invite Simone to turn on her camera in the event that you guys have any finance-related questions that are best answered by our finance manager. Overall, for the Q1 variance that you have, it's obviously early in the year, but we're at around 20% of our annual budget, which is favorable. Typically, we'd expect around 25%. So overall, all the key financial indicators are in green in your report, which means we're within budget. It's important to note, though, at this time in the year, it's very, very early, so we're certainly not in any way ready to talk about any predictable trends or surpluses. And some key pressures to always keep in mind this early in the year: WSIB pressures, grant uncertainties. You'll see in our last year, in the year-end variance report that was in the consent budget, we had really favorable surpluses in grant revenues. So grant revenues are always uncertain. The complexity and volume of crime, as well as overtime, as well as the impacts of tariffs and world events and supply chain. So those are all things that can be pressures on the remaining 3 quarters of 2026. But overall, certainly things look good from a Q1 perspective. And I'll just stop there and see if anyone has any questions.
Thank you. Okay. Apparently, we don't hear any questions or comments. So. Our next item is the Chief's monthly update.
Perfect. And Mr. Chair, I have a bunch of updates here, so I'm just so everybody can pace themselves for my updates here. I'll stop after each one to give everybody a chance to comment or have any questions. So as you recall, the day before our last meeting on March 25th, we hosted approximately 200 members of the community to come together to have a conference in relation to human trafficking. And we've worked very hard and made a commitment. We're going to lead by example when it comes to supporting victims and survivors, working with our community, and holding offenders accountable. We're really proud that since our last meeting on April 16th, we met with members of the Upper Grand District School Board Parent Involvement Committee for probably approximately 200 parents to, again, give some proactive information and education on human trafficking, internet child exploitation. And we're really grateful to both that committee as well as the Upper Grand District School Board and Director Sovereign for giving us a chance, not unlike the time we spent with our Catholic board before Christmas, that on that occasion, approximately 900 teachers and staff. This is a really good proactive opportunity for us to help our community understand both the prevalence, the impacts, but then ways that we can prevent and support our students, schools, and families. May 19th and 20th this week, we're happy to host additional training. It's called Be Safer Training, which focuses on intimate partner violence risk assessments and threat management, equipping those attending with enhanced tools to respond to some of the most complex and high-risk situations. Training like this reinforces key practices as comprehensive information gathering, multidisciplinary collaboration, and clear articulation of risk management strategies, all of which are critical. And we really look forward to being the leaders that can bring our community together, whether it be hosting training, hosting proactive education sessions, or hosting future conferences like we did a few months ago to really lead our community together so we can continue to follow up on our council's declaration of intimate partner violence as both an epidemic and obviously a serious issue in our community. And our work will continue a great deal over the coming years in relation to that. So I'm going to stop there for a sec just to see if there's any questions about any of those updates. Okay. April 30th and May 1st, we were very proud. We got to meet with approximately 2,000 students from Guelph and area to show our appreciation to our Guelph and area safety patrollers. These are leaders within all of our school communities that help their their peers at schools navigate safely with respect to busing and school crossing. So we're really appreciative of the opportunity. Again, that's up to 2,000 students that we got to recognize. So a big thank you again to the boards as well as our members to make that possible. May 9th, again this year, we hosted our Family Fun Day, where we got to have several thousand members of our community visit our station to visit our members, learn about what they do, and just get an informal opportunity to interact and engage with members of our service. It's always an inspirational day when we get to spend some time with our family members. We're grateful to members of council and the board who found time, as well as our own members who attended with their families. It was a really an excellent day. Earlier this couple of weeks ago, the chair and I got to spend a few minutes with Guelph's own Adam Donaldson for a discussion on his podcast about politics and policing. We talked a lot about the progress made in relation to our multi-year budget, as well as giving citizens an opportunity to understand a little bit more about our board, how our board works, and also some of the investments in the ROI on that investments that we've talked a lot about in recent months. And I think, Mr. Chair, I also wanted to follow up to Kelly's report. May 14th this year, just last week, we got to recognize many of our members at our annual awards and recognition ceremony, and a really, really special milestone for our service. For the first time, our special constable, so the first time a civilian member of our service was recognized as Member of the Year, and it was a very, very important opportunity to recognize Special Constable Mike Puckett, not only his contributions, but really recognize all of the work our civilian members do to support our sworn members in so many different areas behind the service. So that was a wonderful occasion. And that now, Mr. Mayor, is Mr. Chair, is the end of my update. Sorry, I'm used to council. Sorry, Mr. Chair. I'm not used to talking to the mayor.
I thought you were trying to promote me. Okay, any questions or comments? None arising. Okay, well, thank you. Next item is new business. Is there any new business? Hearing none. Our next meeting will be held Thursday, June 8th, 2026, starting at 1 p.m. via Teams and live streamed on YouTube. At this point, I need a mover and a seconder for adjournment. Moved by Mr. Sharma, seconded by Councillor Alt. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you, everybody.